Hi everyone. I'm making this video because I see a lot of people making what I think is a huge mistake with their savings. As you can see from the title, I think that mistake is just leaving your money in a bank account. In this video, I'm going to make the case for why you should buy and hold Bitcoin. If you have already bought Bitcoin as part of your savings portfolio, congratulations. Feel free to use the chapters in this video to skip around to sections that might be helpful to you. In case I can't convince you right away, I'm going to provide some links to videos and other resources that I think would be a great place to start researching so that you can make an educated decision. I'm going to show you how to securely purchase Bitcoin on the platform that I recommend. I will also provide some links to videos that discuss the pros and cons of all the other popular platforms. Then I'm going to teach you about crypto lending services where you can earn compound interest on your Bitcoin. I will show you how to use the site that I am currently using. I really hope that I can convince you just how valuable it is to put some of your savings into Bitcoin. At the very least, I hope to show you how much of a disservice you are doing to yourself by not extensively researching your options. I hear so many people just dismiss Bitcoin and these lending platforms with, "It's a Ponzi scheme," or "It sounds too good to be true," but they have done zero research. So please, watch this video, then use the links and resources I have compiled for you, and start your research journey. Then, make sound, educated decisions about how you will save for your future. Before we continue, a few words of caution. I am not a Bitcoin or cryptocurrency expert. I have done a good deal of research and truly believe in the technology, but I still have a lot of learning to do myself. Also, I am far from a financial advisor. I am saying this because I want everyone watching this to think for yourself and make your decisions based on what is best for your personal financial needs. That is why I have said the keyword research so many times already, and I am giving you so many places to start researching. It is very important. Second, one of the biggest threats to cryptocurrency is that there are scams everywhere. Be very careful with where you are sending your money and who you are sending it to. Never make an immediate decision in crypto. Take time to thoroughly think it through and double check everything before you make a decision. I have a few links below about how to keep your crypto safe. To save time, I am not going to explain what Bitcoin actually is. Below, I have linked several resources in the section titled What Bitcoin Is and How It Works. The first link is the actual Bitcoin whitepaper, written by the creator of Bitcoin to explain how it works. It is quite technical. The other links are videos designed for beginners. Also, you could buy some books if you prefer to read. The Bitcoin Standard explains the evolution of money, the problems of our current fiat system, and how Bitcoin could solve these problems. The Basics of Bitcoins and Blockchains explains exactly what the title describes. The Internet of Money is a series of talks about Bitcoin and its importance. What I would like to do to convince you to start buying Bitcoin is simply show you some numbers and simple calculations that I think will pique your interest. First, let's take a look at the graph of Bitcoin's price. Each bar here represents 1 month, and the total graph is showing over 10 years of history. Yes, Bitcoin can have huge spikes downwards, but you can clearly see here the trend over the long term is up. At the time this image was taken, Bitcoin was showing an increase of 469,435.86%, or 4,695 times its starting price over those 10 years. As long as you don't trade the short term and consider this a long-term investment, you can clearly see you have a high likelihood of a great return of investment. Let's take this one step further and look at some realistic numbers and compare two possible investors. Here is a spreadsheet I made that shows the highest price of Bitcoin each month since December 2017. I picked this date because it is when most people probably heard of Bitcoin for the first time. The first investor bought $50 worth of Bitcoin each month, which is an amount I think most people can afford. Keep in mind that this fictional investor is buying at literally the worst possible time each month. If they had chosen literally any other day in that month to buy, they could have gotten more Bitcoin for their money. So the numbers here are showing the worst case scenario for this strategy. Keep that in mind. As you can see here, as of November 2021, this person would have invested $2,400 and their Bitcoin would be worth $12,849, given the current price of Bitcoin at $58,300. The second investor decided to save that money at a bank. Doing a quick search, the best APR I could find was about 0.6%. But I'm going to be generous and say that the bank is giving 1% APR. Also, let's say that this person put in the full $2,400 right away so they could get the interest compounding monthly on the full amount for the entire 3 years. In that case, this investor would have earned a whopping $43.58. Let's go another step further and say that instead of keeping the money in their bank account, they put it in an aggressive 401k plan. Looking at average ROIs for these, it seems they're about 5 to 8%. But let's say it is the best investment plan ever and gets 30% per year. Clearly, this investor is doing much better, having turned that $2,400 into $5,838. But keep in mind, the second investor had to invest all $2,400 up front to get those returns. Also, the price of Bitcoin would have to plummet to $27,000 today for this magical 401k to be competitive with Bitcoin's returns. Clearly, at this point, we can see that historically, putting your money into Bitcoin instead of a bank has been a much better decision. But what about going forward? My guess is that a lot of you might be thinking, it's already up to 60,000 this year, it can't go any higher. Or sure, it has had all these great returns in the past, but there's no way it can keep that up forever. To the first comment, even if that were true, I already showed how that doesn't matter and how that would actually be a good thing for someone starting to invest in Bitcoin now. We know that Bitcoin can have huge drops in price, but we also know that that doesn't matter in the long run as long as the overall trend is still up. Going back to the Bitcoin investor example, we saw the first month they bought, it was almost $20,000. Then each month it was lower, all the way down to almost $4,000 at one point. This allowed the investor to buy more Bitcoin during those low months, which greatly increased the ROI as Bitcoin went back up. In this example, I want to make it clear that I'm not saying to wait until the price goes lower to start buying. I am saying that you should start buying now, and you shouldn't care about what the price does over any given day, week, or month. Just keep buying a little at a time, and after 5, 10, or 15 years, you will have built a great savings portfolio. Regarding the second comment, I do expect the returns to be less and less as time goes. I expect Bitcoin will never see a 10-year period where it increases by over 4,000 times again. What I do expect is that for a very long time, it will continue to perform much better than any other traditional savings method, especially a bank account. Do a quick search for crypto jobs, and you will see that Bitcoin is set to continue to grow. Each bank in the US and in most countries is building new departments dedicated to cryptocurrency research and development. El Salvador has made Bitcoin a legal currency, and more countries will follow. Finance experts from some of the largest investment funds in the world are dedicating teams to researching Bitcoin and have already started creating reports with future predictions for their rich investors. I have a few links below on the future of Bitcoin. One important interview I have linked is an interview with Michael Saylor. He is an MIT graduate who in 2013 tweeted Bitcoin was a Ponzi scheme and would fail. Now, his company MicroStrategy has invested billions of dollars in Bitcoin, and he has personally invested over $1 billion. Doing just a few hours of research on where Bitcoin is now and on Bitcoin adoption will show you just how early it still is to start investing. By now, especially if you've watched the videos and the links I have provided and done your own research, you should be ready to start investing in Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to get you started with setting up your first cryptocurrency exchange account. Remember, I have plenty of links down below that compare all the exchanges and show you step by step how to use them. Before starting anything, you want to have a notebook, maybe even two. Every account you create, every password, every master key needs to be written in your notebook. The second notebook is for a backup copy you can store separately in case one is lost or damaged. You do not want to have your web browser storing all your user IDs and passwords for you. Next, you will want to download the Google Authenticator app and the Authy app on your phone and have those ready. Next, create a new email account that does not have the word crypto in it. Make sure you create a very strong, secure password. You can go to passwordsgenerator.net, link down below, to help you make one. The website also has a lot of good tips for security. This new email address should only be used for registering for your crypto exchanges and nothing else. On top of using a secure password, you will want to use two-factor authentication, in other words, the Google Authenticator app or the Authy app for this email address. I am sure most of you already know this, but just in case, I am going to quickly walk you through setting up a new Google profile and Gmail account. Now that you've securely set up your email, if you are going to use the same exchange as me and are in the US, you will want to go to ftx.us. If you are outside of the US, go to ftx.com. The reason I like FTX is that the fees are lower than on any other exchange I have found if you do an ACH deposit. This is really important, especially when you only have a small amount each month to invest. FTX does have a few downsides. One, it is a little less intuitive than other sites, so there is a learning curve. Two, the amount of time you have to wait before you can take your crypto off of FTX is longer than on other exchanges. Please see the FTX guide video I have linked below for how to set up your account and how to buy crypto on FTX. If you still have questions after watching the video, feel free to ask in the comments. Also, because these guide videos are from a very popular YouTuber, if you use his links, you can get a discount on the exchanges. Once you have bought some Bitcoin, the next question is whether you should move it to a crypto wallet or whether you should move it to a crypto lending platform. Always remember, if you are moving a large amount of money, always do a small test transaction first to make sure everything is correct. Regarding storage, I think the correct answer is some mixture of both, but what percent you do of each will be up to you. The benefit of moving your crypto to a wallet is that it gives you 100% control of your crypto. There is no way for anybody to move the crypto out of your wallet unless you give them your keys, passwords, and in the case of a hardware wallet, they would need your device as well. If you leave your money on an exchange or a lending platform, there is a chance that a hacker may be able to steal your funds. I linked a few videos down below that discuss wallets and how to use them in more detail. The benefit of using a crypto lending platform is that you can earn a compounding APY return on the crypto you store on the site. For example, on Celsius, you can get 6.2% compounding weekly APY on your Bitcoin for up to 0.25 Bitcoin as of today. As I showed earlier, since we expect the value of Bitcoin to go up rapidly compared to the value of the dollar, it is much more beneficial for the rewards to be paid in Bitcoin, which is what you will see on almost all crypto lending sites. Let's go back to our previous Bitcoin investor example to see this in action. What you can see is that I only gave 3 weeks of interest paid on the account for this investor. This is because perhaps the new investment wasn't always on the first of the month, so the extra Bitcoin wouldn't always be available to compound. Here, you can see that if we add the compounding interest in this way, the investor gets an extra 0.0252 Bitcoin roughly. That is worth about an extra $1,500 at the price of Bitcoin today. But the value of the compounded interest received will continue to grow as the value of Bitcoin goes up. Another benefit of Celsius is that you can get collateralized loans at as low as 1% APR. If you are in Idaho like me or a few other states, regulations prevent you from taking these loans. If you are in California, you can get a loan for 0% APR. Remember though, these are collateralized. So you can only take out a loan that is a maximum 25% of the value of the Bitcoin you own. And because of the collateralization, you never want to take a loan while or just after Bitcoin has rocketed up. If it drops back down, you risk losing some or all of your investment. While the benefits of storing your crypto on Celsius are great, there are risks. Like I mentioned before, if your Bitcoin is not in a wallet, you are not in full control of it. If the company suddenly goes bankrupt, all your Bitcoin is lost. If they get hacked, all your Bitcoin could be lost. I personally feel the rewards outweigh the risks, which is why I keep part of my savings on Celsius. But before you make that decision, please watch all the videos linked below and also take some time to look through all the information on their website to make sure it fits with your personal risk standards. If you decide you want to put some of your Bitcoin on Celsius, the guide below is amazing to help you get set up and learning about everything that is available on the Celsius app. And that is it for this video. I understand I didn't really cover a lot of detailed information in this video. That was intentional. First, I really think the numbers I showed speak for themselves. Second, other content creators that I respect have already made a lot of high quality videos and other resources. I wanted this video to be a starting point and a guide into the other great content that is out there so that you can do your own research and to make your own educated decisions for what is best for your future. If you have any questions along the way, please reach out and I will do my best to help. Have a great one, everyone, and I wish you all the best.